Have you ever wondered what happens when you're not present, or if someone you trust is keeping something from you? After 7 years together, I assumed I knew everything about my girlfriend. But when certain facts did not add up, I had to discover the truth. So, when I went on a business trip, I set up a concealed camera to see what was happening behind closed doors. What I discovered had me speechless. My girlfriend, 25, and I, 30, have been dating for 7 years and have lived together for 3. We both work hard, and my girlfriend is in the second year of her PhD. I've noticed some changes in her behavior over the last several months. She frequently arrives home late, blaming her deadlines, and her libido has dropped from high to nearly non-existent. At first, I didn't think much of it. I assumed she was stressed from her PhD and a little overworked. My boss invited me to begin a project in England a month ago. We live in the Netherlands. It would take approximately 4 to 6 months. Previously, if I had projects abroad, my partner would always oppose me leaving since she wanted to be with me for that long. This time, however, Mom pushed me to go, suggesting it would be a worthwhile experience. When I confronted her about her abrupt attitude toward my working abroad, she simply responded that she is older and thinks differently, more mature about it now. So I took the job there, but my gut told me something was wrong. I knew it was terrible, but just to be sure, I took my girlfriend's phone while she was showering to see if anything was strange. Fortunately, I couldn't, so I let go. Then I came across an ad on the internet regarding a covert spy camera. Against my ideals, I decided to purchase one disguised as a smoke detector and replace the previous one in our bedroom. It appeared almost identical, and she didn't see the difference. It features an IP camera which allows me to view live footage remotely and receive notifications on my phone when there is motion. I traveled to England for my assignment a little over a week ago, and here's the terrible bit. Last Saturday, early evening, I received a notification from the camera's motion sensor. I opened the app, and there it was, she and a guy kissing on her bed. It progressed to foreplay and finally sex. I somehow managed to watch the entire thing. I had 1,000 feelings at once. I felt angry and depressed. Now I don't know what to do. If I confront her, I must confess about the camera, and she will never forgive me. However, her falsehoods are incredibly damaging to me. On the other hand, I don't want to lose her, and I understand why she's inclined to try with other males because I was her first 7 years ago, and I assumed I was her only. I honestly don't know what to do. This guy has been sleeping in my bed with my girlfriend every night since Saturday. Maybe you'll think I'm weak for considering forgiving her and being frightened of losing her. Let me explain a few things. As I already stated, we have been together for 7 years. She is the first female I've ever dated who I didn't become bored with after a few months. Until now, I had the same feelings for her that I did at the beginning. She assisted me in a variety of ways over the last 7 years, mainly after I lost my father and became chronically unwell 5 years ago. Also, she is beautiful, way out of my league. And don't forget that we lived together for 7 years, making shared memories and planning our lives around the idea of being together forever. I'm unsure how serious this is, and I will face her today. Still, please understand my reservations about dumping her. I contacted my girlfriend and confronted her. I informed her I knew she was cheating but did not explain how I knew. She remained silent for a few moments before bursting into tears. I told her I couldn't speak to her if she kept playing the victim and that I wanted her out of my house and life before I returned from England. Then I hung up. I put my phone away, but she kept phoning, and I did not answer. An hour later, I decided to call because I wanted more information. This time, she remained calm and apologized. I asked her for the truth about when this began. She admitted they met at work, that he is a postdoc she works closely with, and that the first time they had sex was at a conference in Barcelona that they both attended. After the first day, they were tipsy, and he escorted her to her hotel room, where things quickly escalated. This conference was 10 months ago, so obviously I was upset. I questioned her why she did it, whether she loved him, and why she lied for so long and never had the decency to come clean in the previous 10 months. She begged, saying she didn't love him and that it was just a physical relationship that began out of curiosity about what it would be like to be with someone else. She stated that he had a wife and children while she had me. They never intended for it to be anything more than sex, and it still isn't, according to her. She said she just loved me, but her plea was ineffective. I could not believe it had been going on for 10 months. I asked if she was concealing any other secrets from me, and she admitted to having sex with another person 3 months ago, a guy she met while out with friends. This was a one-night stand. I groaned and could hear her crying again. I told her I never expected to waste 7 years of my life on her. I wanted her out of my house and life before I returned, and I never wanted to see or talk with her again. I hung up and blocked her. Man, screw it. I thought I had a decent girl all along. Second story. I, 30, male, and my wife, 34, female, have been together for 8 years, 5 of which were married. I assumed we were the type of relationship who could discuss any difficulty. I genuinely loved her, and always thought she felt the same way about me. We had our ups and downs, as do most marriages, but I never imagined it would lead to infidelity. 4 months ago, I noticed a shift in her behavior. She became more distant, was constantly glued to her phone, and avoided our chats, the standard indicators of a cheater. Then, one day, I discovered a message on her phone that confirmed my worst suspicions. She was seeing someone else. It felt like a punch to the stomach. I was overcome with rage, despair, and a profound sense of betrayal. But rather than face her right away, I chose to wait. My primary purpose was to protect myself in case of divorce. If I was going to confront this circumstance, I wanted firm proof. So I spent the following 2 months gathering messages, photos, and whatever else I could use if things became legally complicated. During those 2 months, I pretended everything was expected as the suffering intensified. I watched her act as if everything was fine, and my feelings for her vanished as time passed. The affection I once felt has been replaced with indifference. If somebody claims that love never fades, they are not precisely correct. When I had acquired all the proof, I faced her. I showed her what I knew, and while she initially denied it, she eventually admitted to the affair. She admitted it was a mistake, but still loved me and wanted to sort things out. But at that point, I had stopped feeling anything. I didn't scream, cry, or become irritated. I simply told her that was fine, that we could split and move on with our lives. My lack of feeling puzzled her. She described my attitude as cold and cruel, claiming that if I genuinely loved her, I would have tried to repair our marriage, which was ironic coming from her. The fact was that I loved her very much, but after 2 months of living in quiet with her deception, I simply stopped caring. At first, I was inundated by stories from people in similar situations, some worse. I never anticipated so many people could understand what I was going through. It's eye-opening to learn that infidelity is more frequent than I realized. Reflecting on it, I believe I did what was necessary to defend myself. Some may argue that I should have sought to save the marriage, but I do not think I should have. The betrayal felt like a wall had been built between us, and once I saw everything fully, there was no turning back. It's not that I don't want to love or be loved, it's just that my relationship with her has ended. Does this imply that I am cruel? I don't know. But this is my truth. One of the most sobering realizations has been how many people are stuck in relationships where trust has been destroyed and have no idea how to proceed. I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing. It's been a slow journey day by day. Watching the affection fade until it was completely gone made me ponder what would have occurred if I had approached her before my emotions dissipated. Perhaps things might have turned out differently, but I don't believe so. Once confidence has been shattered, it is nearly impossible to restore it. I'm absorbing everything slowly, but one thing is sure. For the first time in months, I can breathe and look forward without feeling burdened by what happened. And that concludes today's video. If you enjoyed this tale, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more similar stuff. Remember to click the notification bell so you can see all the changes. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.